Hey Vikings fans, what's going on? Buckle up, because today we've got a story that might look quiet on the surface, but underneath, it could shape the future of the Minnesota Vikings offense in a big way. I'm talking about two key names that could be locked in for years to come, and trust me, you're going to want to hear this, because while everyone's been saying this offseason feels too quiet, something important is happening behind the scenes. And if this report is accurate, the Vikings are already planning their next big move. Not in free agency, but from within. So the question is, are the Vikings making the right call by doubling down on their core? Or are they taking a risky bet that could backfire? Let's break it all down together. The latest buzz from Vikings news comes from ESPN's Kevin Seifert, and it reveals something that might have slipped under the radar for a lot of fans. While the offseason hasn't been flashy, it's been strategic. According to the report, the Minnesota Vikings are already budgeting for future contract extensions for two key offensive players, Brian O'Neill and Jordan Addison. That's right, this team isn't just thinking about now. They're thinking long-term. And this lines up perfectly with what interim GM Rob Brzezinski has been saying. The plan? Draft, develop, retain the core, and only then fill gaps in free agency. That's a philosophy shift, and it matters. Let's start with Brian O'Neill because honestly, this one just makes sense. If you've been watching the Vikings over the past few years, you know exactly how valuable he's been. This guy has been the definition of consistency. Drafted back in 2018, O'Neill has played 124 out of a possible 133 games. That's durability, reliability, and elite performance all wrapped into one. And here's the kicker, he's never posted a Pro Football Focus grade below 70 since his rookie season. That's insane consistency at one of the toughest positions in football. Now think about this, if Harrison Smith decides to retire, O'Neill could become the longest tenured Viking on the roster. That's not just a stat, that's leadership. He's been to 2 Pro Bowls, he anchors the offensive line, and he protects whoever is under center. In a league where offensive line play can make or break a season, that's priceless. So when we hear the Vikings are planning to extend him, it's not just logical, it's necessary. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Extending O'Neill this offseason could actually free up around $14 million in cap space. That's huge. Not only do you lock in a cornerstone player, but you also gain flexibility to improve the roster elsewhere. So the real question is, why hasn't this already happened? Is it timing, negotiations, or something we don't see yet? Now let's shift to the more complicated situation, Jordan Addison. And Vikings fans, this one is not so simple. On the field, Addison has been exactly what this team needed. A dynamic WR2 alongside Justin Jefferson, capable of stretching defenses and making big plays. He's young, explosive, and incredibly talented. At just 24 years old, he's entering his prime. That's the kind of player you want to build around. But here's where things get tricky. Off the field, Addison has had multiple issues that raise serious concerns. The latest incident? An arrest for probable cause trespassing at a casino in Florida back in January. And unfortunately, that wasn't his first. In fact, it was his third arrest since being drafted. That includes driving-related incidents and a DUI in 2024 that led to a suspension. And it didn't stop there. He was even disciplined by the team for missing a walkthrough. That's not just a bad look. It's a trust issue. So now the Vikings are facing a tough decision. Do you invest long-term in a player with elite talent, but questionable reliability? Or do you wait, watch, and hope he proves he can stay out of trouble? Despite all of that, the Vikings seem optimistic. And honestly, you can understand why. Because when Addison is locked in, he's dangerous. His chemistry with Justin Jefferson has flashed real potential. And with Jalen Nailor leaving in free agency, the depth at wide receiver suddenly looks thin. Think about it. If Addison isn't part of the future, then what's the plan behind Jefferson? That's a scary thought. Now, there have been trade rumors floating around. Some speculation that the Vikings might consider moving Addison. But let's be real, this team would much rather see him succeed in purple and gold than anywhere else. And here's another key point. There's no rush to extend him right now. Addison still has one more year on his rookie deal, and it's incredibly affordable. that gives the Vikings time. Time to evaluate his performance. Time to see if he stays out of trouble. Time to make a smarter long-term decision. After that, they can pick up his fifth-year option for 2027, which is projected to be around $17.5 million. So the timeline is clear. The Vikings don't need to gamble today. They can wait and make the right move later. But that also means this upcoming season is huge for Addison. This is his proving ground. Not just as a player, but as a professional. If he delivers on the field and stays clean off it, then yeah, an extension becomes a no-brainer. So now I want to hear from you, Vikings fans. Do you think the Minnesota Vikings should lock in Brian O'Neill and Jordan Addison long-term? Or should they be more cautious, especially with Addison? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading everything. And if you're loving these Vikings news breakdowns, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your fellow fans. Because trust me, this offseason might be quiet, but the real story is just getting started. Skol.